Hi everybody, it's attorney Richard Saylor here with another video update, late January 2020. Everybody settled in after the new year. I wanted to talk about something that comes up regularly in our practice, and that's what we call statutes of limitation. So it's a fancy word or fancy expression in the law for how much time do I have to file a lawsuit, okay? So it's often that we'll get an inquiry from a potential client and something terrible happened to them, but it happened 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, and I unfortunately have to deliver the advice that there's not much I can really do, okay? So what I wanted to do is I thought it would be important to set forth a video or create a video which explains to everybody in general, you can't catch everything in a short video, how the statutes of limitation work, especially under Florida and federal law as they interpose, okay? So in Florida/federal, there's different laws in the workplace that govern discrimination on the basis of race, gender, pregnancy, disability, religion, national origin, etc. Okay. If you've been discriminated against in the workplace based on any of these, you have two options. Okay. The first is you have to file a charge of discrimination with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which is a government agency that investigates these claims, within 300 days of the time the event occurred. If you don't do that, your claims are barred forever, okay? It's what we call an administrative prerequisite to ultimately filing a lawsuit, okay? That's for the federal laws. If you want to sue under the Florida state law, which has the exact same protections, maybe even a little bit more, you have to file a charge with the Florida Commission on Human Relations within 365 days of that occurring. So that's a year. The federal laws are 300 days. What we always encourage our clients to do and what we do for them is we file, or generally try to file, within 300 days a charge on both the federal claims and the Florida claims together. It's called dual filing. I know I'm starting to get a little hyper-technical. I'm trying not to. But the point is, if you file with one and check a box off, it's considered filing with both. So if you have questions about that process, you know you can always email us, richard@floridaovertimelawyer.com. Those are the discrimination claims. We also handle a lot of claims under what's called the Florida Whistleblower Statute, where an employee gets fired for objecting to illegal practices. Those claims have to be filed in court within 2 years of the decision to fire you or the retaliation. We handle a lot of claims under what's called the Family Medical Leave Act, where somebody gets fired for taking time off for work due to an illness that they have or that a close family member has. Again, 2 years under that law, okay? So you have 2 years from the date of the violation to file suit in court. If you don't do it within 2 years, generally your claims are waived. We handle a lot of overtime cases. Overtime cases also are governed by that 2-year statute, where if you don't file within 2 years of the final violation, your claims are waived, okay? In overtime cases, the statute of limitations runs differently. It runs backwards, meaning for every day you wait, that's a day that you lose of overtime wages. So if you have an overtime case, I would strongly encourage you to get that thing filed with the lawyer quickly. Don't wait and then 2 years later say, oh yeah, I was paid overtime, now I want that money. It's gone, okay? So the other thing that we handle and we see commonly is a breach of contract case for wages. Under Florida law, that's generally 4, sometimes 5 years, depending on whether it's a written or oral agreement. So you have more time on those, okay? I've tried to cover the basics of the different types of cases that we see. Obviously, you're never gonna have a one-size-catch-all situation, but hopefully this at least triggers something in your mind where if you have a situation that you say, oh, I gotta go talk to somebody, or my time or my clock is ticking. And that's really the purpose of this video. So as always, if you have questions, I know this was a little hyper-technical, not as interesting as some of the other topics, but it's important. Email me, richard@floridaovertimelawyer.com. You can also go to our website where we talk about some of these issues, www.floridaovertimelawyer.com. And as always, you can always go on our YouTube channel where there's all sorts of informative videos and things of that nature where you can go down that wormhole. Thanks for listening. I hope this helps somebody. If it helps one person, it's served its point. And look forward to keeping you guys informed and update it as the year progresses. Let's get through January. Thanks.